Get ready for an unforgettable experience at the Midwest Fire Weekend from August the 1st to the 4th. Join us as we bring together all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians under one banner for 4 days of powerful brotherhood and sisterhood.
I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I said wow, they don't know how I did it. Got it up.
Day 1 kicks off with the Roundtable with Truth podcast featuring Captain of 13,000 Milwaukee. Also, we will be having a breakfast and sip event at 12355 Gratiot Avenue, Detroit, Michigan. Then, we will be having scripture breakdown with none other than 12 Shield General Muhammad from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Then later, we will be having game night. On August the 2nd, we will be having a street teaching and a food and clothing giveaway at the Detroit Transit Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then you can join 13 Shield Commanding General Yohana for a powerful discussion. Are demons real and are they among us? From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. After that, we will be having late night activities at our bar on 21530 Gratiot Avenue. On August the 3rd, we will be visiting the Charles H. Wright Museum from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And join us at the Action Impact Gun Range from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. We having an album release party at Flood Bar and Grill for none other than Captain of 13,000 of Pied Operatic. Then, last but not least, we will be having the 7th annual Midwest Barbecue at Chandler Park from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. This is not like any other barbecue you ever been to. Bring your children, bring your family and friends. It's free food, and it's a safe environment.
It's funny, what is it?
Also, get you a room at our hotel for special rates. Book now for a comfortable stay close to all of the action.
Purchase your tracks today.
Support the Midwest Fire Weekend by donating to our GoFundMe. Visit the GoFundMe link in the description or scan the QR code to make a difference.
Boston, it made niggas regroup. Had to shed light on the false image. UPK whole court. Now who the fuck won scrimmage to?
We're getting ready to have a Midwest Fire Weekend.
Then the Isupk Chicago coming at you once again to let you know about the Midwest Fire Weekend.
Came to speak to you about some events we're having in Detroit, Michigan. Fire Weekend, Thursday, August 1st to Sunday, August 4th.
Inviting all single Blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians to our Midwest Fire Weekend.
And you know what it is. It's that time of the year again. It's the Midwest Fire Weekend, hosted by Captain 13,000 Milwaukee, August 1st through the 4th.
Real Isupk Kentucky here to invite every so-called Black, Hispanic, and North American Indian to the Midwest Fire Weekend, Detroit, Michigan, August 1st through the 4th.
Tune into the Midwest Fire Weekend from August 1st to the 4th.
Don't miss out on this incredible event. Join us for the Midwest Fire Weekend from August the 1st to the 4th. Visit www.isupk.com or scan the QR code for more information.
Jonathan Thunderbar, 6 here. Right now, we at the Feast of Unleavened Bread. I'm with my main man, Captain Bon Month. And he was telling me about Paul's promise. The Paul's promise. And you know, that's all it's about how the earth makes it uncomfortable for men to be just openly masculine and straight. Why? Because so much alternative lifestyle being pushed out here, making us uncomfortable. Right. So that Paul's policy is just our way of standing our ground against the oppression that movement puts on us. As being straight men that love women. In other words, they're trying to make us feel ashamed about like women, loving women, married women, just being a man. So they try to make us feel that's what we need. We need that in the black community. Take check it out. I'm just going mom, and I support the Paul's policy. I definitely support it. This is General Katumba Bar. Yo, Isupk, I'm the commanding general, y'all.
I'm Captain Cotton Design, letting you know we support the pause policy. All that gay shit, no Diddy. You heard?
My name is Captain Ariel, coming to you live from North Carolina, and I support the pause policy.
Support the cause, check us out, you know, round table trill, where we do much heavy information about supporting the cause
Pause policy is in full effect. No thing, my niggas. You already know. You know what they say.
Even when Moses came to get the children of Israel, right? He came to get the children of Israel. He still had to tell them, God is going to build you a place flowing with milk and honey. And they had to fight their own soul to have enough faith to get there. And many of us died. Many of us died in our lack of faith, our lack of right or wrong. Many of us died never holding on with enough strength to the Father to say, I'm committed and I'm not turning back. But the ones that did, they went into the kingdom of heaven. They watched miracles happen. They watched the nation be born out the ground where it was impossible to do. The terror, when you read them scriptures, man, and you read the terror that was on those Israelites when that Egyptian army came down after them, that Egyptian, and they do just what people do. They do just what people do. The minute that Egyptian army came down on them, they turned their back on
Northeast Ohio. What's going on, Israel? You understand? Tune in to Ton of Pressure podcast with my man, Captain Dabar Ahmad. You understand? Get busy. You understand? The best is yet to come. Isupk.
It's Captain of 13,000, the Carter Baram with the Isupk, letting you know, man, check out the Tons of Pressure podcast straight out of Milwaukee under Captain Dabar Ahmad. The 5 podcasts, man, coming out that side of the country. Tons of pressure, man, going through the hottest topics, unifying the blacks and Hispanics, man. Shalom.
No, come on, man. I needed that on camera. Ton of pressure. You say ton of pressure. I think that's what I tell my ribs. They want a ton of pressure, 2 tons of pressure, 4 tons of pressure, the type of pressure you want. But if you want that real pressure on the scriptures, on them breakdowns, on current events, make sure you tune into the Ton of Pressure podcast live on YouTube. They're doing it weekly, they're doing it daily, they're doing it monthly. If you want the baddest information you can find, make sure you tune in to Ton of Pressure.
You need to tune into the hottest, best podcast on the planet right now. A whole ton of pressure. A ton of pressure every Sunday at 5 p.m. Tune in. You're going to hear some of the best topics, the best conversation coming out right now on the internet. Shalom.
Yeah. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they ain't wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a
Our nature was natural, not supernatural. Now they call it magic and voodoo, that shit ain't practical. All the roots connected, always wanna learn the that you know. Don't let the shit go over your head. Same snakes up in the garden, but the skin just shed. They'll always try to convince you that it's all in your head. Just know you gotta do better before you hit your bed. I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they don't wanna see us win. Trying to kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin. Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Tell me, can I live? I know the hate is deeper than the color of our skin.
Yeah.
Can I live?
They say my rhymes cause too much excitement. Ride incitement, shit, well there's no indictments when my kinfolk get murdered by white men. Dark skin, light skin, divided and blinded. So we beef with each other, our brothers, rather than fight them. Fuck all that silence, it's time to get shit ignited. I ain't my way, low nigga. I ain't taking shit from no Tarzan. Ain't no motherfucking nation got freedom from marching, begging for portions. Niggas ain't signing no parchments, big payback. You crackers got red in your margins. Why? They broke every treaty, slaughtered the buffalo, and then they set fire to teepees. They carved their face in mountains, but we go to jail for graffiti. We fought for this country, they gave us syphilis at Tuskegee. We been getting robbed, yeah, we're the ones who stay behind bars. They take all our money, but they ain't wanna give us no jobs. Wasn't supposed to make it, but we stayed defying the odds. It's like we really only living off the grace of our God. Can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? Yo, can I live without getting harassed by the Sarge? Can I live without getting slammed on my car? Can I live long enough to raise my kids? Can I live long enough to see justice? I stay away from the streets and the trouble to get in. Trying to stay strong in this world full of sin, but they wanna bring us down, they ain't wanna see us win. They wanna kill us all, Lord, tell me, can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? I know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. So can I live? Can a nigga live? Can I live? Can a nigga live? Lord, tell me, can I live? Know the hatred's deeper than the color of your skin. Can I live?
All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life. I'm on this for life, nigga, this a blood oath. Hey, yo, Madara, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the rebel. The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, send a curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in them trenches.
trust in the Lord. But please, forgive me for the times that I did. If rank is given, have your respect to your apprentice. Be about your business. This loyalty's a death sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind friend. They said there'll be many mansions. I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair. They hunt you like bad pill. But ain't no getting out the game like Jumanji. You take that oath, it's a Dundee. They try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times and it's death to his partner. So how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should won't. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name. So you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing. Ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital, now it's murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it, raise it. I pity those watching life as it go by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. In pump smoke, never try to. The dead at home, my brother be the dead, it's all I don't. Either fold or salute, my nigga. Salute, my nigga. Like, how you stay focused? I told him I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. And I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she leave me, said she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. So, how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should won't. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah, yeah.
Even when Moses came to get the children of Israel, right? Came to get the children of Israel, he still had to tell them, God is going to build you a place flowing with milk and honey. And they had to fight their own soul to have enough faith to get there. And many of us died. Many of us died in our lack of faith, our lack of right or wrong. Many of us died never holding on with enough strength to the Father to say, I'm committed and I'm not turning back. But the ones that did, they went into the kingdom of heaven. They watched miracles happen. They watched the nation be born out the ground where it was impossible to do. The terror, when you read them scriptures, man, and you read the terror that was on those Israelites when that Egyptian army came down after them, that Egyptian, and they do just what people do. They do just what people do. The minute that Egyptian army came down on them, they turned their back on them.
Let him cook now. Let him cook. I can't let him cook.
Hey, Shalom, Captain the Bar, Isupk Milwaukee, letting you know we got classes every week, 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. So Monday, that's going to be the history class taught by Officer 50 Canunya. Wednesday, that'll be the captain's breakdown class for the officers here. That'll be on Wednesday. And on Saturday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., is the Sabbath service class by yours truly, Officer of 1,000 among the bar. So, other than that, every other day, class starts at sundown. Call Isupk Milwaukee for all the information. If you need counsel, request it. Shalom.
We are live. All right. Shalom, Israel. Y'all about to Barakathon to the brothers. Y'all Shemar Latan. About to the sisters. We got the Isupk, the Israelite School Universal Practical, now established in 1969, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are led by Commander Jonah Yohana. We are not affiliated with any other organization. Let's not get it twisted or misunderstood here. So I just want to bring this this incense a little bit closer. Shout out to Captain Barmont, Isupk Milwaukee. we are holding it down. Camp Leader Scripture Breakdown class. Any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to engage with us in the chat across the different social media platforms that we're established on. Still trying to figure out how we can link this up with like on StreamYard with like Clubhouse and Fanbase. Otherwise I could set up a room like right here, right now on the phone, but I'd like to try to see how to link all this together. Any tips or advice somebody could give on that, if that'd be appreciated. What else we got? Listen, Midwest Fire Weekend is going down August 1st through the 4th in Detroit, Michigan. So I think that's from Thursday to Sunday, August 1st from the 4th. Get all your travel arrangements set up. Get your lodging arrangements set up. It's crazy how in the Midwest, like we're relatively close to each other, but it's so goddamn far away. We're like the Milwaukee of Michigan, or no, they are like the Milwaukee of Wisconsin, of Michigan. No, I said that right. They are like the Milwaukee of Michigan, like damn near a straight line going across from us to them on that longitude latitude line, which on horizontal longitude. So it's surprisingly expensive from Milwaukee, even early, just to get there in a plane. Driving is going to be a hassle too, because you got to go all the way around, blah blah blah. But it's definitely worth the trip. So if you're able to make it, make the effort to get out there, kick with everybody. Atlanta was popping. Saw all the videos for that. So let's keep it going this season for the cookouts. You know what I'm saying? So hit up the ones that you can, contribute to the ones that you can make it to. If you can help brothers and sisters out with some gas money, food, accommodations, chip in if you're able to. We got and just because, just to make sure that you're thinking about it, start getting ready for the next Passover. Yahushua ain't come back yet. The sky ain't crack open yet. We're not in our kingdom yet. So until then, we're gonna rehearse the righteous acts. So keep the next Passover in mind. Just start setting money aside. Start getting your garments straight. Any accessories for what have you. The patches, stitches by damn. So like I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up her handle. Stitches by Night. Hey, listen, man, get to it. Get to it. Start planning ahead. Start getting things lined up. Contact Cap the Bar Mouth about any garment concerns. The leather work and some of the other additions that we're going to be adding to it. So don't tarry. You know what I'm saying? Don't tarry. Just get proactive about it. We got a lot of events coming up outside of that too. So, be responsible with your time management and your finances, which I know it's a struggle for us across the board. We ain't rich like that. And we ain't always got the time, as a luxury. These devils do. So we gotta be a little bit more strategic about it. So we keep it moving. All right. So unless there's any questions, comments, concerns in the chat about any particular scripture anybody would like to engage with, the main topic I'm gonna look into first. So this thing with Trump, this thing with Donald Trump, him walking out after he got shot, coming to Milwaukee, walking out to many men. When you get a chance, set that up. Like this is, so the scripture I'm gonna read to it, it's a parallel. It's a parallel on how they look to us for favor in the community. Because like if you a brother, you can give an Edomite, a so-called Caucasian, a white man, you can give an Edomite or even white girl You can give an Edomite a hood pass. You can take your brother's black card from him. So now you give them a hood pass. They're allowed to freely walk around your neighborhood, politic in a different manner, probably even just say the N-word. And nobody's supposed to have a problem with it. So we're essentially grafting them in, which is not a biblical concept for heathens. You can't be grafted in to the culture, to the heritage, inheritance, to the bloodline, to the covenant, to the brotherhood. You can't just be grafted in if you were heathen. And the word heathen just means somebody of another nation. It's similar to goy or Gentile. The word that they use for that, goy, when you drop it. Was the program running? No sweat. So one problem that we often have is trying to bring them into the fold, trying to play nice with them, too nice. It's like you're supposed to be civil. You're supposed to be civil. We'll get that scripture too. Be at peace with all men. So give me 1 second. Nobody was supposed to be an unaliver. Now you got some people out there that just have a propensity for violence. But you're supposed to be civil. Supposed to practice civility. Because we're not monsters. We're not tyrants. What? We ain't tyrants. The Bible is absolutely a dictatorship. Yahushua was a dictator. The Most High is a dictator. Ain't no Democrat or ain't no RNC, about to visit Israel. And then after that, the Democrats about to come in with their bullshit too. We are a monolith. The UPK. Israel. Monotheism. We got one power who gives us our direction. So while y'all worried about this goddamn, I'm gonna pull that scripture too now. While y'all worried about this goddamn election, we already had a directive to follow. Instead, we give all of our energy, our concentration, our overtime. Just on Ton of Pressure podcast the other day. That video of the brother who said he just made his largest financial contribution. Now, for all we know, listen, that could have been $10. It could have been $1,000. It could have been $10,000. I don't believe he specified in the video, but not that it matters. He made an effort. He made a concerted effort, a concentrated effort to donate, to make a point, to make a video. His name is George. Just want to bring this up again real quick. His name is George, and he made a concentrated effort. You can read that better than me, Bob Kushai, if you could.
No. It says, my name is George. I am a radical believer of Jesus Christ
and I just made the largest political donation I have ever made in my life to Trump after the Lord stopped his assassination. This was confirmation that the devil is terrified of what God will use Trump to do.
And again, no real details given there about.
Slack about that.
I know, so start back.
They said Christianity is a hell of a drug. How are you going to donate to a billionaire when you and your people are struggling while being in captivity by the very same people of that billionaire? Trump should be giving so-called natives, Latinos, and black people all of his money.
Mm-hmm.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Me too. And again, the energy that this cat is making, that this, I ain't trying to call nobody out for something that I don't know about them, but he give me pause. He give me reason to pause. It's an awkward, to me, it's an awkward photo in his statement using his religious affiliation with Christianity to justify his endorsement of Trump. Which, and he could just be a nobody. He could be just a regular cat. Like, do you think Donald Trump gives a shit about this brother? Like, he would immediately build a wall against him. There's no affiliation. There's no, there's no reciprocated affiliation. I'll say it like that. This man is willing to donate financially to this other devil that don't know, that they don't know each other. They ain't got no dealings with each other. And Trump is not concerned about individual circumstances. He's worried about, like America as a whole. So that would encompass him. He'd be under that umbrella. But as an individual, like his life don't matter. Safety, security. Trump ain't gonna drop nothing to give him a donation. If somebody were to shoot at this cat, now it certainly ain't saying go test the waters. But if somebody were to shoot this brother house up tonight, and he survives, Trump is not gonna make the largest donate. Well, $1 would be the largest donation that Trump would ever have had, made to people like this following an assassination attempt. But, and still, we give them way too much. Way too much. Not just money, attention. Give them way too much attention. Following all their stories on social media, tuning in to their rallies, contributing to their political parties, just to try to be around something that you think is greater than you. When we're the best, I don't see what we're so in shock and awe about when it comes to this way of life, when it comes to the American standard of family values, societal acceptance, now financial, security. Yeah, that's something that that's something I think everybody can kind of, weigh in on. But financial security does not mean happiness either. It takes some relief off your burden. I'll give that to you. But to jump out on a limb like this guy, you can take that off the screen. You can take that nigga off the screen. Well, if we were to check out Romans chapter 12, verse 18, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. That's, we shouldn't be so outwardly aggressive and hostile that we can't maintain civility in your workplace, in your community, in your family. We got a lot of other stresses to worry about too. But that should be an attention seeker or an attention grabber to not want. Say it again. The one that I just read. What's that one? The one that I just read. 12. I was in 12. And so I just read that. If you could, though, give me Deuteronomy 17 and 15. Since everybody want to go out and vote, Now, the Most High ordains our leadership. He's the one who sets that up. He's the one who protects us. He's the one who condemns us. He's the one that our trust should go into. If we want to have any effect, any tangible effect, practical, realistic, influence over what's going on with our people here, we can only rely back on one source. It's only ever going to come back to the Most High in Christ. It's only ever going to come back to Israel as a people, binding together with Israel as a people. And that takes somebody being the bigger man, willing to apologize, willing to admit a mistake, willing to forego their ego to soothe somebody else's burnt ego. Like somebody may feel so slighted, like goddamn, like how dare you talk to me like that? How dare you look at me? How dare you bump into me? And we're not gonna, how would I say it? We're not gonna over here. And I can only speak for the UPK. We're not gonna just jump at words. You can say whatever the hell you want to us. That's fine. Like, words are just that. They're words. They're sounds that come out of people's faces. That's it. And it can bother some people. And, if you get a physical threat of violence, that's something that you can't just take lightly. But for example, like if you've never seen them before, they don't know you, you don't know them, and they're talking about they're going to shoot up your house. Chances are they don't know where the fuck you live. Slack for the language. Chances are they don't know where you live, let alone have the intention of actually following through on that. They're probably high. They're probably drunk, stressed out on something else that's completely unrelated to you, or the situation that just occurred on the city bus or in the subway or on the streets, in an alleyway, at the job. How much dumb shit happens at the job, in the church? How much dumb shit happens in the church? If those pastors would stop trying to game and sleep with their parishioners' wives, you might have less conflict. That one pastor may have not had a shot up and unalive that one brother when he went to go confront him about committing adultery with his wife. Just a heads up, so that there's no miscommunication here. In the kingdom, you're going to lose your life doing that. You leave that woman alone if she's married. I don't care what sob story she gives your dumb ass. If she's a married woman, you better not touch it. You better not look at it. You better not talk to it. You better not think about it. You better leave that shit alone. That goes for the church. That goes for the streets. Because how many instances, how many brothers and sisters are in jail and or in the cemetery for messing around with somebody that they should not have messed around with? If you a sister, if you got a man, biblically, that you lay down with, had sex with, biblically, you are married to that man. That is your husband. If you step out on him to do the same thing, just on a different surface with a different man, you are committing adultery and fornication. That is punishable by death. The evidence of that is how many women get unalive because of that. Just on a carnal level, without the Most High giving the priest the green light to carry out that judgment, how often does it happen today? Same thing with men. Same thing with men. Chances are, and I say this over and over again, chances are nobody's going to try to cave your head in if you're not sleeping with their woman. More than likely, they might try to, rob you or beat you up or, over a drug deal or maybe a card game, a dice game, a stupid bet that they lost. They might be salty about it. They might try to attack you, after that. But just a roundabout general circumstances, if you're not messing with dude's wife, chances are he's not going to look to take your life. Bars that rhyme. I'm just gonna put that in the archives just for later. No big deal. Probably the best. So it's something to keep in mind while we're traversing the oppression of this world, of this kingdom, this society, and try, in multitasking, try to examine who we are as a people. Because I think we can all pretty much agree on the surface, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we share a very close set of circumstances that is, unlike everybody else's. Asians don't share a similar history or past with the Irish, except for the fact that even when their business dealings that they agreed to, they were not shipped over here on cargo slave ships against their will. Their business dealings with the heathen, especially with Esau, with the so-called white man, in early America, for example, building the railroads and the infrastructure and all that shit, they were never robbed of being Asian or Irish. They were always sent back to their own land with due pay and their identity. They weren't, overridden with rhetoric and another people's philosophy on how to live their life. They may have been corrupted or influenced with drugs and alcohol and whoredoms, but it's not like the Irish and the Asian didn't already have that too. They were some of the big, especially the Asians, they were some of the bigger suppliers of those kind of establishments. The opium dens, the whorehouses, or geisha, whatever their clubs were. So in that they do share a similarity. They always knew that they were Irish. The other half always knew that they were Asian. The other people always knew that they were African. As much as they tried to tell the story of the mix because of the dark skin, no matter how they try to spin that narrative, there was always a clear separation abroad abroad in mass between Negroes and Africans and the indigenous, dark-skinned indigenous of the North, Central, South American, Caribbean areas and Africans. There was always a clear dividing line culturally, and how would I say it? Not just based off the physicality, because that's not as pressing of an issue as their identity being preserved versus ours being completely flatlined and beaten out of us. Damn, I was just saw this thing about, I can't remember dude's name. He'll be all right. But there was an African that was brought over. He was kidnapped, but he knew that he was African, and it was never taken. His identity was never taken or supplanted from him, usurped from him. He always knew he was an African, and he got tangled up in the slave trade because some devils kidnapped him, which is absolutely wrong. But that's just that dude's circumstances. So now you can't go and try to take that footnote and be like, oh, well, see, there were Africans in the slave trade. So you can't say that it was just Israelites on the slave boats. This was like in the mid 1800s. The slave trade started, nigga, like before the 1500s. You know what I'm saying? Completely different era. Completely different era. What that dude went through was like, just a couple hundred years ago. Just a couple hundred years ago. But they definitely had better record keeping. Well, can't even say that because they did keep records back then too. They had a writing system back in the 1500s. It's not that out of date or inconceivable that they had a sophisticated and elaborate system going on. Just this cat ended up getting caught up. That's all that was, man. But let's keep this going. What I want next? Judges 5. No, not yet. Yeah, Baba Kushat Salaki.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15.
Don't get yourself tripped up over the November elections. Yeah, don't get tripped up over this shit. All right, so he's in office, or it's like you're running for the presidential office against another devil. Dude gets shot up, allegedly. There's still some kind of funny stories going on with what actually happened around that rally. But all of a sudden he's accepted amongst the people. He got hood status. Now he's blacker than Bill Clinton. But our prerogative, what our directive was, our instruction was to choose one from among our brethren, from among our people that was going to rule over us. Someone that the Lord was with. So now we can see it from in Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15, which is what the brother is about to read. But we can see it played out in real time back in those days with King Saul and King David. And that foregoes all this campaigning bullshit. Nobody had to back Saul or David financially in terms of like their campaign, because David was never running for office against Saul. But they had an ought that couldn't be resolved on Saul's part. David was willing to drop that shit a couple times, and that's evidenced in when he caught him in the cave. when they caught him in the valley. Like, he had opportunities to end the election, to end the whole process of it. Is this a video?
Yeah.
Bob Percent. Yeah. And then we'll read the scripture. Keep me unmuted. He's flexing off of us. He's not playing Uncle John. He's not playing anything by Johnny Cash. Let it go again. He's playing something by 50 Cent. No, he's not playing who's that dance? Billy Ray Cyrus, Justin Bieber. He's not bumping Justin Bieber. Justin Timberlake? No, not even Justin Timberlake. Eminem? He's not even playing a song by Eminem. He couldn't have got one of those. But he's using our flavor, our style, to push his endorsements. We can put that on pause. Yeah. To push his reputation, to push his hood status, to make him more relatable. I mean, how many brothers can relate to being shot? I ain't never been shot. I ain't never been shot at, per se. Had guns up in my face and all that shit, but good.
I mean, I've been shot at.
Been shot at?
Yeah, almost had my head blown off a couple times.
Couple times.
But there's a comment in here I want to read if I could.
Good.
It says
they can see this on the screen.
It kind of.
All right, I got it. You got it.
I can big it up so they can see it completely.
I just want to make sure. All right. You got it.
It says 3 baby mamas, multiple felonies,
right,
a mugshot, and multiple ops. Trump is more gangster than 90% of the rappers out there.
That's gonna get him so much play in the community. So much play to some ignorant brothers and sisters that they're gonna feel compelled to vote for him. The same way that Biden had said, like, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Well, because of comments like this, dog, if you don't vote for Trump, you just can't relate. He can relate to the struggle. You know, give or take, a few $1 billion. And again, given his societal status, now he can relate to the struggle. Now he's just like one of us. More gangster than 90% of the rappers, because the rappers are gangsters. On, at least while they're rapping.
If I could.
Yeah.
Most of these rappers are portraying the lifestyle of a gangster.
Right.
Not knowing the real live dangers that come with living in the streets like that. You know what I'm saying? They can sit there and portray themselves as these hardcore killers and everything. I hang out with killers.
Right.
I hang out with, like, these niggas that I know will be way more gangster than this dude talking about grab my sneakers, wear my shoes.
And listen, and the other ones that are actually in the field, they either dead, they in jail.
Right.
Like the ones that are actually about that lifestyle, they are either like dead or in jail. Like the majority of them. Ain't too many killers in the mainstream, rap circuit that are just walking around free or alive, for that matter. And I ain't trying to put them on blast. I mean, I ain't trying to open no case against nobody. But he trying to gain. And I mean, I don't know. So obviously it was part of their campaign promotion to walk him out to that song in Milwaukee, mind you. Milwaukee, where there is a large concentration of blacks, Hispanics, and not so much Native Indians in Milwaukee, but black and Hispanic, yeah. So now you give him this atmosphere. You put this, you give him this atmosphere. You paint this picture around him. Send him out into a hood city after he came back from, where was he in Pittsburgh? Was he in Philly? No. If you could try to look that up, where his where their little convention was in Pittsburgh. I don't think it was in Philly. But Wisconsin is it is a red state. It's, maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm not that in touch with the political look in Milwaukee, but I thought Milwaukee was more of a Republican. It feels Democratic, but
Pennsylvania.
It was in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Oh, I said Pittsburgh. I said
Trump injured in shooting at a rally, Pennsylvania rally in Butler, Pennsylvania.
In Butler, Pennsylvania. I've never heard of Butler, Pennsylvania on any rap album. Maybe I'm just not hip like that anymore. Maybe I'm just not that cool. But I've never heard any hip hop reference to Butler, Pennsylvania. I've heard Milwaukee though. Heard Milwaukee a few times. And Milwaukee's got a, Milwaukee does have a reputation of hooliganism. I guess Donald Trump is just now, really tapped into the roots of. So now they're gonna play that song. No, that's not. All right. So the scripture I want to parallel this with, and this is not to give a connection per se between between them actually doing some good. And what about the Judges? There we go. Judges 5. And actually, that might, I'm gonna say that for something else. Instead, all right, no, give me Deuteronomy though. We didn't even read that yet. So while everybody's worried about not just the clout chasing, the platforms that he's being pushed on, this incident and his social relevance, relatability in the urban culture. Again, they talk about us in terms like that. This ain't relatable. This is not supposed to be relatable. Pull up that make that larger. Pull up that dude's comment on there too.
I can't pull them both up at the same time.
We'll just make it bigger on the screen. Yep. So that they can kind of say, I don't know if you can highlight it on your end so that it shows up on their side. But either way, I just want to comment on this. So yeah. So what's his name? Not a crackhead? Or is it Naughty Crackhead? No Tay Crackhead? Either way, he a crackhead. 3 baby mamas, multiple felonies, a mugshot, and multiple ops. Trump is more gangster than 90% of the rappers out there. They're trying to make this like a relatable status to us as blacks and Hispanics, because we are the overwhelming population in hip hop that are rappers. So they're like the point that he's trying to make is the character portrayal that a lot of these rappers are walking around trying to invoke that Donald Trump is more realer than them. But we're sitting there trying to be, we're sitting there trying to be like that. We're trying to relate to that. And then we think that we own that characteristic. So now we make it seem like he's relatable to us. Like you see how that switch goes? We end up being relatable to them in their way of life, but then we try to take ownership of those characteristics and then in turn try to say they're relatable to us when they were the original, those type of bastards. We ain't supposed to be criminals. We ain't supposed to be walking around with 3 baby mamas. 3 wives, yeah, that's fine. 3 wives, that's us. That's us. That's biblical too. And then what was it? Multiple 3 baby mamas, multiple felonies. We ain't supposed to be criminals, man. We ain't supposed to be. I don't want to be relatable to these rappers. I don't want to claim that those characteristics. You can be a tough guy. You can be a stand-up dude. You can be a tough guy without having to be a goddamn criminal, without having mug shots and multiple ops. Now, there's going to be people that hate on you no matter what you do in life. But you ain't got to be at such a strict, contentious point with people that your lives are on the line over jealousy, fame, clout chasing, words on social media. Who was it? That brother Julio in Jacksonville, Florida. The beef that he had, and not to say that this is any way related to them personally, but the beef that he had with the mother cats, he's sitting there dropping his location on social media, and then all of a sudden he gets shot up and loses his life because of an offense. Like, where does it initially start between us? An offense that you made to somebody else, a life that you took from somebody else, or was it the offense that they made against you, or the life that they took from one of your families? Like where does it kick off at? It's important to understand the root of that, so that we can establish corrective measures. We should not be relatable to this, and we shouldn't be holding our people in that celebrity status as rappers to this standard. Trump is more gangster than 90% of rappers out there. So is Al Capone. So is John Gotti. Damn, what's his name? Whitey Bulger. Golly, now I can't even think. You see a lot of them from what was that one show? Boardwalk. You got a lot of names dropped from there. A lot of these old white gangsters, whether they're Jewish, Italian, European, they're all Caucasians. They're all white. Don't let them fake Jews convince you that they are not white people. They are white people. They are Caucasian people. They are of the same bloodline as these bastards here. Donald Trump and his kinfolk, Spaniards and them people, Christopher Columbus. They're the same people. They come from the same stock. Ain't nothing different about them, except that what they personally identify as. You can personally identify as a goddamn circus clown. That doesn't not make you akin to Donald Trump or to Rabbi Harry Rosenberg and them fools, and to the Rothschild, to the whatever burgers. Pick one. Yeah, same people. We can take this down. But this is who we're gonna now model our level of comparison. Like, this is gonna be the status quo. What you're gonna want to achieve. Like, there's a lot of brothers that being shot at, that got shot, that stepped up. Because again, That's why they're playing the 50 Cent song, because he got shot, lived through it, and was bold enough to keep it moving. Which, I don't know. To me, that's a little fishy. I mean, he's not the president. He's the former president. So that for a lifetime, that still allots him Secret Service. I believe still an annual income. Because Bill Clinton, he's still getting paid. Like all them surviving presidents right now, like they still get a paycheck coming in just for being a former president. I think it's somewhere like, I don't want to quote that. I think the presidency itself was like $500,000 a year. But I think even being the former president, you still like 150 plus a year. But, you know, my numbers might be wrong on that, but you know, topic for a different day. How much they get paid in comparison, just for being the ex-president. So now he's a former president running for office again. After an assassination attempt, the next week after Pennsylvania, he comes to Milwaukee. And I mean, like, they shut downtown down on Monday. They shut the whole area down pretty much. Like the buses, traffic was a mess. But just the fact that they still let him continue with his campaigning after that, something seemed a little fishy about it. But of course, with this newfound like reputation, well, of course he's gangster enough to just, you know, walk through it all and you know, give that portrayal of his, you know, masculinity and dominance. So now that becomes idolized. And again, going back to Dude's comment, like all those metrics that he had cited, the felonies, the ops, the baby mamas, the mugshots, we think that should be relatable to us because we've lived through that. That was not our life prior to integration. We didn't have that kind of reputation. We weren't involved in all those criminal activities until we got integrated. And that happened even before, you know, the civil rights era. That was just a major push. You had smaller incidences where, you know, people were in alcohol and tobacco industries. Well, tobacco, I think, was always pretty legal, but Prohibition era, you had blacks and Hispanics involved in that were in the underground. But that was out of means of, you know, survival and lack of resources. Legally, like legal lack of resources and opportunities. Because after the slavery, we did, you know, it was, they didn't want to pay you to do work. They don't want to pay you. If they're going to give somebody money, they're going to give it to their own people, unless you're going to take, you know, 10% of what they would have paid, you know, one of their own is your wages, you know, then maybe that was still on the table. Jim Crow, the advantage that they had over us then too. So while y'all focused on this reputation, these metrics for success and your gangsterdom, just keep in mind, this is not our way of life. We are modeling our way of life now, our societal standard after their history and their culture. I'm talking about white people shit. We're modeling our way of life after theirs, and then we're taking ownership of that because it's so common in our communities that now we think that that's supposed to be us, and now he's relatable to us instead of it being the other way around. We're relatable now to their way of life. They tricked you again. Dumbass who's going to go out there and vote in November. Give me Deuteronomy. We've already got a campaign running. It's been running for a very long time. A very deep-rooted cultural campaign that shouldn't be ignored. All right, whenever you're ready.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17, verse 15. It says, "Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee."
Not him. Not this dude. Where we're going to find out who it's supposed to be, though. Good.
"Whom the Lord thy God shall choose."
The Republican Party put him up as a name on the ballot. America chose to back this dude, not God. And America does not speak for the Most High. This is not a Christian nation. Well, you could say that America is a Christian nation because of its overwhelming hypocrisy, which is the substance and the fruit of Christianity, hypocrisy and criminality. On those terms, America definitely is a Christian nation. They are not living by a biblical standard, though. Keep going.
"One from among thy brethren."
From among thy brethren. Now, this is Deuteronomy 17 and 15. So Moses was laying down the law, laying down the standard, our instructions to Israelites. So he's telling Israelites, read that from the top again real quick.
15. "Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, from whom the Lord thy God shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee."
He's talking to Israelites that the Lord is going to choose one from among thy brethren, and that's who we support, who our God, our power chose from amongst our brethren, from amongst Israelite brothers. He a Edomite. He a Christian. He don't identify as an Israelite. He would never claim that he's Jewish, to even try to claim to be Israeli, and none of that. He's not our brother, not circumspectly, not metaphysically, not philosophically, and not by some nutty crackhead nigga online comment either. That ain't our people. That's not our brother. We have a directive to follow. Was that the end of 15? Baba Kasha.
"Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee."
That's a stranger. That is a stranger. If he'd have come without blacks and Hispanics giving him a hood pass to walk out to music like this, to be accepted in this atmosphere, he would be just an outright stranger. Like we're making it comfortable. We're making we're making it relatable. We're trying to the wall that he built up against our people down south, we're trying to tear that wall down in society between us here in America then. That's not our people. That is a stranger. He's amongst us. But we are commanded not to choose somebody who the Lord did not choose from amongst our brethren to reign over us. Keep going.
"Which is not thy brother."
Not thy brother. He good. He ain't our brother. He ain't our people. This voting sham, this presidential election garbage, this rhetoric of vote or die. I think that was who was mainly pushing that? I think that was black people that was pushing that shit too. A vote or die. Try to look that up real quick. I remember that was pretty big for a while. And who is that mainly pushed against? That was mainly pushed in the urban communities. Yeah, Vote or Die campaign 2004. Yeah, P. Diddy was on that shit. P. Diddy. Now look at that too. You got somebody like P. Diddy who's been found guilty of certain charges on camera for certain offenses, who is pushing that Vote or Die campaign. And who was that back in 2000? Was that Obama?
I think so.
Back in 2004? Let's look at that real quick. Candidate list. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Give me one second. Bush was on there, John Kerry, Nader. Those are the three main. Cobb. Some of the other ones you barely even heard of. So in 2004, you had some chump like P. Diddy. I think at the time he was Puff Daddy, pushing for voter registration and participation. Vote or Die was the mantra at that time. And where did that get us? It got us into wars. I think it was a small war back then. It was that Gulf War? And I know that was part of the push into Iraq. Yeah, because after that, 9/11, that was 2001. And what was the fruit that came out of that, man? Just fruits. Just fruits came out of that. That's all that was. Good.
It's funny that you mentioned stuff that would happen. I was just online right after seeing this. There was a video where dude was having a conversation with an Iranian dude. Dude was from Iraq.
Right.
He was like, I always wanted to ask, like, what's your stance on the 9/11 attack? He said, oh, it was a tragedy. We lost some of our best men.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. The whole group of white people that was sitting there talking to him, mouth agape. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. I can't believe he said that. And he continued eating the sandwich like ain't nothing happened. The whole situation made it look like they was trying to include him, but making it racist at the same time.
Right.
But it's pretty much the same as this. Like, when dude got shot, okay, you know, he asked for his sneakers, his Jimmys. You know what I'm saying?
On stage. Yeah. I remember seeing that part.
Shoes.
Yeah, grandma shoe. He got shot out of shoes. I mean, it nicked him in the ear.
Right. But he's sitting there talking about my shoes. And now he's walking in the 50 Cent Mini Man.
We give him too much. Give him too much. So now this, all right. So this actually segues into, where is it? First, I'm going to get Proverbs 3:31.
You said the book of Proverbs 3:31?
Okay.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his way.
We spend way too much time worried about their life, their wealth, their wins, their losses, their social media posts, their net worth, their acceptance. We're worried way too much about their bullshit, and we start to idolize that. We want that same thing for us. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to be successful financially. Nothing wrong with you wanting to have, a big family, to be popular, to be respected, to be a dangerous man. There's nothing wrong with that. But when we start looking at people like this for inspiration, that takes away from not just our moral compass, because we're looking at a criminal here. We're idolizing a criminal. Well, at least that, brother. I ain't gonna speak for everybody necessarily abroad, but there's a large concentration of cats that think just like that crackhead on was that on Twitter? That was Instagram. That Instagram crackhead, man, who try to make that relatable gap. When that ain't our people. We shouldn't, even if all right, no sweat, say it happened, and you want to give them that kind of reverence. Don't use that as a trigger, as a mechanism to not go out and get involved in their campaigns. If you want to say he's more gangster, more respected than some of the people that are on rapping and putting out music and portraying a certain lifestyle, and you want to say that he's more gangster than that, fine, cool, fine. Let's just leave it there. Let's not allow that to be a platform or a push in any manner for him to try to win our votes. We don't belong in their voting system at all. But we want to be so inclusive that now we try to make this the standard. Now other young men, they're gonna try to look up to that. They're gonna have to try to beat that record now. They want to get shot at too. It wasn't enough for Tupac and 50 to go through the shit. Like you want, like y'all really want to live that life. There's not a whole lot of people that make it back from that. And you see that witness with some of the popular names that are out there that ain't making no more club bangers. They're not producing any more new music. I know Tupac, supposedly had like a vault of unreleased tracks that they started pushing after he died. But that's that's a rarity. Biggie didn't have a vault. King Von didn't have a vault that I'm aware of. I ain't heard nothing new from him because, and I ain't trying to say nothing negative about the brother, but like you see what we're emulating out there on the streets. You see the messages that a lot of these brothers are pushing out there on the streets. And we're seeing the end results of it. But again, we were never designed and made to be criminals like that. Hold your own, be a man, be masculine, absolutely. Be a criminal? No, we don't do that. That shouldn't be relatable. That should not be relatable. Because when they say baby mamas, they talking about women that they ain't even really messing with no more. Somebody that they might mess with on the side, but you also know she got another nigga too. She got a side nigga. That's your side bitch. Your baby mama, one of your baby mamas is now your side bitch. She got a side nigga. You got your main chick, and she your side piece. And she got side piece. Because that's just your baby mama now. That don't mean nothing to you no more. We're not supposed to behave like that. That's not us. Culturally, biblically, none of that. We have a different identity. He's not one of our brethren. But now we're trying to make it relatable. We're trying to bridge that gap between us. He's not like us. We're not like they're not like us. Like they should be trained. Not because they might even try to make that a flex for him too. Kendrick Lamar. That's gonna be the next one that he walks out to. This ain't none of our business. We got a job to do. We got something else that we need to focus on, man. Because they taking all of our energy, all of our style. And we become envious of them, thinking that we're relatable now. Like now we're homies because he supposedly went through some shit that, you know, damn near every hood nigga can relate to. It's a sad day where we got to feel like we need to be accepted by them in our acceptance of them, begging to be accepted by them for a standard of living that they originally had established, that we emulate, but then we try to claim and now say that, well, look, they're just like us. We're acting just like them. It's the reverse. We're acting just like them. You fell for the okie doke. We ain't supposed to choose nobody. We ain't supposed to back no play that the Most High did not stand up for us. Set up for us, I should say. Slack. We ain't supposed to back no play that the Most High did not set up for us. But instead, you want to play that game. A couple people died allegedly in that shooting. Now, this is for Kananya to be the conspiracy theorist about, but who are those people? Do they have stocks in any businesses? Were they game players on any platforms? Were they any type of threat? Good.
Also, during the shooting, there's this video floating around that there was a woman that was right behind Trump. Like if it was bullet shot, I think that lady would have probably got hit from the angle of this. But she was so calm about it. Like she knew it was about to happen.
Maybe she just so guttered. Maybe she just so used to bullets.
And then pulls out her phone so casually to start recording.
She just that gangster, man.
And the funny thing is, it's nothing but black people that's sitting there speculating on everything that's
Right.
going to happen with it.
Right. Why do we give a shit?
Right. We shouldn't be giving a crap about it. We should be worried about the violence in our neighborhoods, the drugs in our community.
That we can solve. And we can solve those issues without having to back any presidential elector.
Right.
We don't need none of this to have change and effect in our community. Slack. That's a great point that you brought up.
I'm just sitting here like flabbergasted the fact that if you look throughout TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, well, don't look at Twitter because that's pretty much a porn site now. Every other video is Trump shot, woman butt, Trump shot. You know what I'm saying? And then it's everywhere, and it's mostly blacks that's sitting there supporting it, and Native Americans because they don't even know they black. I mean, no, know that they Native. I didn't know I was Native for a minute. I thought I was a nigga, even though I'm still a nigga. Excuse the language, all right? But not so. It's our people that's sitting there backing this dude up, and the main reason why I think we're backing him up is because the same shoes he asked somebody to get for him.
Were they Jordans?
They look like high top Jordans.
Oh, okay, man.
I mean, high top Nike. Well, Nike and Jordan aren't they the same?
I mean, damn near hand in hand. I mean, I know they're different, but
there's some gold high tops.
Oh, the ones that he made.
Yeah, I was sitting there.
Yeah.
What do the high tops got to do with you? Like you sit there, you get shot in the air, and then now you go like this, you pump your fist up in the air, and then you're talking about where's my shoes, my J's, my high tops. And then next thing you know, you come in and 50 Cent, man, and he just walking. It seems like you're appealing to the chess piece that's on the board that shouldn't be obtainable. That chess piece is not obtainable. You can't sit there and reach across the board and become the queen on the board and not the queen, get across to the other side and then become any piece. That one piece that you can't get to, you can't make it into another king. You can't make another king piece. That's our people right there. That king piece, that obtainable piece that's right there. That's the one you want so bad that you would sit there and appeal to our people just by doing this. It's like I don't mean to
no. Listen, that's entirely on point because that's that trick bag that we fall into, man.
Right.
That's how easy was that? How easy was it?
If I could, it's about as easy as just drawing up a shoe design. You do that. My nephew can draw up a shoe design. You know what I'm saying? And slap it on some J's and call it a dang high-priced new Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely could. And we ain't gonna buy it like that.
Right.
You might get a couple sales out of it, but let this fool get shot. Let this fool get shot. Let your dumb ass still think you got a voice in their electoral system at all, even a little bit, and you're gonna be rushing to the polls.
Right. All these drugs, inhalers, street walkers, all the things that's in the neighborhoods of our people are going to be crawling out into the dang on voting booths to go ahead and start voting for this president. Even though in the years before they had to go through different kind of things to win the votes in the election.
Hold on, I mean, what's that big argument that a lot of people try to argue about? All the lives lost. Our ancestors died. They died for our right to vote.
Right.
You got to get out there, vote. Vote or die. Says Puff Daddy. Said a nigga named Puff Daddy.
It's just that's how I see it. Like I see it, again, every time I look at our people, I think of Hosea 4 and 6.
Well, let's go get it. Let's go see what Jose is talking about. Because I see us in Proverbs 3:31. Every now and then the oppressor choose none of his ways. I see us falling for that. I see us breaking Deuteronomy 17 and 15, where we're back in the play of somebody else from another nation, a heathen, to rule over us that God did not choose. I don't give a shit what George said about God must be pushing Trump, because he survived the assassination. You just had I can say all that. I'm going to give my personal opinion on how that should have played out.
Right.
But George a dumbass. Salakia, George, you a brother. You need to get in class. Somebody get that brother a flyer because you're missing the whole point of this. If you're a man of God, if you claim to be a godly man, you should have listened to Genesis or Salakia Deuteronomy. You should have been paying attention to that because I was only talking to Israelites. That the Lord was going to choose one from amongst our brethren. You going?
If I could,
you got it.
The whole Bible is talking to Israelites. I mean, again, that's why this is always on my mind when I see my people. Okay, it's the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. It says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee."
And now, this is something else that people tend to overlook, the concept of what knowledge is according to the Most High.
Right.
When he's talking about this, it is very contextual. Not to say that you can't know, mathematics or some history or some archaeology, geography, political awareness, all that hoo-ha garbage. Good. I'm gonna try to look up the point that I want to bring up, but go ahead with yours.
I don't want, if I could. Also, even if you think about it like this, if we didn't have, of course, this Bible has been around for a very, 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 very long time. You know what I'm saying? And when it's saying lack of knowledge, we built the pyramids.
Right.
We built most of the inventions that we use today are made by Black and Hispanic and Native American Indian people.
Yeah.
Straight up. The traffic light, the pencil, the washing machine and dryer,
light bulb,
the
telephone,
the cell phone.
Like, we're pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
We're pretty smart. We're pretty cool people.
We are the best of the best, and that's it. But we are destroyed. And when I say like we're destroyed for the lack of knowledge, it's like we don't know the law, statutes, and commandments, and we're sitting there going after this right here. We're going to vote for this dude to rule over us.
Exactly.
Instead of the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? That's the lack of knowledge. They don't have what we have, which they should be going to any ISUPK school near them in any state there is. Or if it's not one in that zone, you can call and still get into classes online because we're all over the social media platform.
Absolutely. Like y'all seen Captain Tazariak out there making a glorious mess of social media, man.
Yeah.
Making an absolutely beautiful cemetery for all these people that got what he did to Brother Sanchez. That brother, man. Did you see that?
No.
Good night.
Definitely gonna go watch that tonight.
Dude is it's laughable. It's laughable. The stance that he held, his understanding, his knowledge, that cat's knowledge on what Israelite culture is completely, how to say it? It's very generalized because he's taking shit that other people do in their organizations or as individuals and using the Israelite identity as an umbrella to say that we all the same, that we all do the same shit. We don't all start an organization while being an undercover cop, a crooked undercover cop, and lock up innocent black men and send them up to Rikers Island. We don't all do that. We also you can't make a generalized statement saying that we engage in fornication with can't say the one word, with transgender people and then unalive them. You can't make that a generalized statement. Alphabet. I just want to make sure that they know it wasn't he wasn't kicking it with a lesbian and did this to him. He was kicking it with somebody who was dressed up as a woman, who was born not a woman, and they had an ought that they could not settle without some bloodshed, apparently, for the one cat that was involved. So you can't take specific instances and circumstances with individuals and try to make that an umbrella for the nation of Israel. It don't work that way. The ISUPK County Command and General County is not affiliated with any other organization.
That's right. Pay your tithes.
You pay your tithes. Pay your goddamn tithes. Listen, Fire Weekend. Throw that in there too if you got it. You got it in there?
It's on the bottom of the
screen.
Thing. They can scan the QR code.
QR code. It's right there.
Go ahead and fund a little donation to the guy.
Throw a couple bucks. Throw a couple bucks in there, man. It'll be all right. You can. Yeah, it's open to the public.
It's like a tax.
Yeah, no, you good. You're right. It's open to the public. Only so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians will be permitted into the event. Because it is exclusive. We are not all inclusive. So you can't take, 1 second, you can't take your heathen counterpart into our event. If you got children, buy them. If you're the woman and you got a heathen man, those are his kids. You cannot bring your kids in. You can't do it. For example, I couldn't bring my mother in because my mother's a heathen. I love my mom, but she can't come to the Midwest Fire Weekend. Same way she can't come to the Lord's Passover. So if you're the woman in that, Lord be with you. You can't bring your kids. Your husband won't come in. If you're the brother, if you're the husband of that relationship, leave your wife at home. Bring your kids though. If you got kids with her, but you can't bring her with, man. It's not a dog park. Go ahead, hello.
Slut.
Snuck that in.
You brought out the evil laugh.
Yeah.
But not so. What I was gonna say is, everybody else is inclusive. We're exclusive. We decide who we want to come in and who we don't want to come in. Now, if you feel like that's too much for you, then so be it.
Right, stay home.
Right, stay home. It's hot. You don't want to have fun. Your kids can sit there and get on your nerves. Or you can go ahead and come to the fire weekend and let your kids run around with the other kids and play while you get some good food and listen to some good music and probably play some good games. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe lose some good money in chess. I don't know.
We also got merchandise that'll be for sale. Captain Cesario always got the oils and the butters on that. And then you got the sisters out there making drinks and selling those. You got t-shirts, clothes, all types of stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? This is something that is needed in our community instead of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And on top of that, coupling to what you had just said prior to it, give me Deuteronomy chapter 4. Because, you got options. You can vote or die. Or you can just, band with your people and live. You're going to risk that no matter what you do, man. Walking outside your door, you're taking the game. You got drunk drivers. You got maniacs, sociopaths. You got Columbine shooters. You know what I'm saying? Like the next generation of them. Walmart was not that long ago. In Buffalo? What was that? In Buffalo Walmart?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like we're so far removed from their hatred. That family in West Virginia that was adopting those black kids that left them in that shack and used them for physical labor. That was last month. That was a month ago when they got outed for it. When the actual case actually came out. That was a month ago when they actually started doing it.
Pretty much a long time.
That was some years ago. So let's not be so naive that we believe that we're the same, because they not like us. Good.
Or when the brother that was riding behind this budget truck on the highway.
Yeah. Saw the hand hanging out.
Hanging out. And called the police.
Yep. Human trafficking is still a real thing.
It's daily. This has been done since before the lynchings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's an old practice.
This is what they used to do after the barbecue, because a barbecue is or a picnic, which stands for pick a nigga, is where they would hang a nigga or burn him alive in front of other slaves.
Oh.
And sit there and have a meal and laugh and have fun right around the body.
When you should be bothered by that. Okay. That's something that shouldn't be just a normal thing for you. Women and children running around, men that ain't part of that warfare. Like, it's one thing, if we go into battle, but we're not going to display them, those corpses and dead bodies all over the place like that. We ain't barbarians and we're supposed to act like that. But they send them out as postcards.
Yes.
Burnt up and castrated men.
Yes.
That's a postcard for them. We're not the same. They're not our brethren. We need to stay out of their affairs. Get into these affairs. Fire Weekend, man. Fire Weekend is an excellent opportunity and excuse to go find out what this is in real life. You can actually come kick it with us in Detroit. In Atlanta, you could have gone down to Atlanta. A lot of people did. A lot of civilians did. People that are not in the school went out to Atlanta and kicked it. Got to meet the brothers that they've seen on social media, just chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? The world ain't supposed to look like this. So Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5 through 7 is what I want to read real quick. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. So this is the Most High giving this directive to Moses to teach the people what we're supposed to do, what we're not supposed to do. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. This is where we get our knowledge from, our knowledge of who we are, what we're supposed to do. These law, statute, commandments that were only given to us to operate amongst the other nations. Keep for and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation, because they are watching, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. Everybody out there, like, they're seeing what we're doing. They see how we move. They see how we dress, the food that we eat, the ideologies that we follow. It's very similar to like what is it like what is that Siri? I don't know what's Android or what's Apple, but that Siri, or what's the other one? Alexa. Where they got our social media devices monitored, mic'd up, and you could be talking about eating pizza with your brothers, some shit like that, and then you go back onto your Instagram or Facebook or whatever, YouTube, and then now you start seeing advertisements for pizza. It's similar to that effect with these other nations. They see what we're doing now, that we are so separated from our power, that they're just throwing all this shit out there because they know it's attractive to us. Interracial marriage, unclean foods. Right. I see so many videos for how to cook pork, how to chop up a pig, how to fry up a pig, how to preserve a pig, how to do all that shit with a pig, with a goddamn pig, man. Just leave the pig alone. It's a pig. It does something completely different on Earth. Ain't got nothing to do with us.
If I could.
Good.
A pig is nothing but a garbage disposal.
That's it.
That was supposed to be nature's trash can, because it'll eat its own kids,
right?
Or even human remains.
On dry land, that's that. In the bottom of the sea, you've got crustaceans.
Right.
You got other scavengers.
The shrimp, crab, and lobster.
Yes.
That women love so much.
What are octopus and squid? I don't want to throw out some scientific word that I don't know what the fuck it means. But like, I know crustaceans are shrimp, crab, lobsters, and things like that. But you got scavengers that do that clean up the water, that filter the water too. Your shellfish, they clean the water. They're filters in the waters. But we use them as a delicacy. And people pay good money for the shit too, man. It's it's a little it's a snail, bro. It's a slug. It's a mussel, clams, barnacles. People are barnacles are even getting picked up.
Chinese, the Asian people.
Especially them.
They do that a lot.
And they do a lot of sick shit. Some of the stuff may be gimmick when you see it advertised. Like, I've seen a lot of weird Asian so-called like restaurants or cuisines, and I refuse to believe that that's even real. It's so out of this world to me. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't want to get it. I don't need to get it. I don't need to go into the psyche of Asian people to try to understand whatever the hell demons they're combating, to know that it's wrong. It's not for us.
Right.
We were not given that same culture, and just to move on. I'm not gonna personally invest that much kind of time and attention to try to understand them. What I understand is they are factually following their own way of life, their own will and lusts, and they're content with that. Let them be content with that. You just don't eat bats. Let's just draw the line right there. You don't eat dog or baby fetus or shark fin. How about we just stay away from that and we'll be fine as a people? That's a good start. That's a really good start. And when they see us living, contrary to our culture, to our identity, our inheritance, it makes it that much easier for them to take advantage of us and get us to commit to whatever agenda they want to push.
Right.
Nobody was mad at that Asian hate bill. Anti-Asian hate bill. Nobody was mad at that. I know, a couple of people kind of bickered about, well, why the hell haven't we got one? Like we'll make the same statement in the UPK, but we're not going to cry. We just acknowledge we were never given one, and we leave it there. That's just that. That's just that. It's that black and white. Ain't no point in crying over spilt milk, because we know it's not going to happen. We know they don't look at us the same way.
Right. And if I could,
you got it.
In their mind, they're not like us.
Yeah. The same rhetoric back.
Right.
The same thing back. They bumping Kendrick Lamar, looking at niggas, looking at spics, holding themselves, to a higher pedestal than we hold ourselves amongst each other. We don't give ourselves that same consideration. But now you're gonna look up to some fool like Donald Trump. Listen, don't trip over your clown shoes, bro. Like you need to switch it up. You need to not pay so much attention to what they're doing. It's one thing to be aware of what's going on in society. Globally, the wars that are popping off. Commanding General Yohana, Black Watch, The Grill, America on Fire. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dating, like, some of these are kind of old. The Grill. That's when I first came into the school. Ain't nothing wrong with paying attention to the times. That's wise to do so. Right. But don't let that distract you from what's actually going on, man. To what we are expected to do for each other. We owe each other something. We owe each other brotherhood. We owe each other compassion and humanity, civility, and some peace. You ain't the only one who had a bad day. You're not the only one that on a hot day riding a broke down city bus. You're not the only one walking with carts and bags, taking care of kids, having to feed and provide and pay bills. You're not alone in this. So don't take it out on the next man walking down the street just because you having a rough one, or just because you think some words offended you. Wait till somebody come punch you in the face and then get offended. Defend yourself at all costs, absolutely. But don't get so worked up and emotional over words. It's noises that come out of people's face. It's dumb. They're words. I ain't saying take a threat lightly, but know when to react to something. Know when to react to something, man. Like, if you know that person knows where you live and they actually got the means and the character to follow through with it. It's not an empty threat. You know what I'm saying? That's when we rely back on brotherhood. Don't take matters into your own hands and go off on a tangent. Look, Donald Trump didn't shoot nobody up. He just got shot. He's not shooting up the streets of Butler, Pennsylvania, Just because somebody shot at him, since you want to take so much goddamn example off of these people, learn from that then. Just move on to the next city. Go on with your life. Run your campaign. Let's execute our plans for a change instead of worrying about their agenda. We've got our standard of wisdom and knowledge. And these other people, they notice when we're in a line with it and when we're not. That's why they're laughing at us abroad. They don't take us serious as a people. That's why they know they can set up shop in any hood. In any hood, they can make money. They hustling. They hustling for real. In any hood, they can make money. Set up a bulletproof glass. They got their guns too. And they got family too watching shit. And they got ties with the cops too. In any hood, they can make money. You think you was a trap star. Dog, we ain't got shit on them East Indians, them Asians, and them Arabs. They really running it. Verse 7, for what nation is there so great who hath God so nigh unto them as the Lord our God is in all things that we call upon him for? Buddha ain't doing nothing for Chinese people. I want y'all to know that. Buddha don't exist. Allah ain't real. He ain't doing nothing for the Middle East. That's not a real thing. What they're doing, though, is they are galvanizing their resources and they are exercising brotherhood amongst each other, at least to their accepted standard of morality, because they'll tolerate certain things being done. Them geisha houses, man, they used to put kids in that. You know what I'm saying? That you're like, you think Asian people are so deep, they're so profound and philosophical, and they're so wise. Dog, their whorehouses, you know what I'm saying? Their opium dens, their methods of warfare, so barbaric. So barbaric. But you think because they write, their calligraphy is so beautiful, their artwork is so intricate, so detailed, so delicate. They got to be a nice, soft people. They not, man. They animals. They're animals. They're going to try to usurp our authority, turn it against us, and now we're going to think we're Genghis Khan. You're going to have some rapper out there at some point calling himself Genghis Khan. At some point, some knucklehead, some crackhead, some self-admitted and identified crackhead on Instagram is going to name his dumbass after Genghis Khan or the Mongols. You know what I'm saying? We're following after another people's culture, trying to claim it as our own, and then trying to say that they're relatable to us when we're trying to make ourselves relatable to them, to be accepted by them. It ain't going to work. It's oil and water, man. We've got our standard, our measure of wisdom and understanding right in front of us based off of our statutes and judgments given by our power, the only one true living God, who is not Jesus Christ, by the way. That's another brother from the hood who ascended to the rank of king because of his birthright too. Like it's, we can trace that back in a different class. But you got to understand the times that we're living in. We're not at peace. We are at war. It is time to, I'm going to close it out with Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. We ain't at peace with these people, man. We ain't got no dealings with them. We need to keep to ourselves in the right spirit. Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Verse 2, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the shaft, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Verse 3, seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. This is how we survive as a people. This is how we regain our integrity, discipline, our kingdom. This is how we get it back. This is a simple step on that long road of recovery, detox, sobriety, discipline, by gathering together, being a nation that's not desired by them because they don't care about you. And that's not a woe with me victim mentality. Just that's the difference between us. They don't care. And that's fine. I don't want them to care. I don't want them interested at all unless they're going to pay tithes. They go to isupk.com and give me your money. Give Milwaukee your money. Give Detroit your money. Give Chicago your money. Give Commander General Yohana all your money. Give all your money. Keep what you need to do to get back and forth from work so that you can keep on giving us your money. If you were heathen. If you an Israelite, pay your tithes, man. Pay your tithes. Kick into this Midwest Fire weekend, bro. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be beautiful. You're going to see brothers and sisters that you may have not seen for a while gathering together under one umbrella, a nation not desired. But we love each other. With that, I'm going to pass it off to Preaching Austin 500, Kala. Shalom, Israel. Listen, pay your tithes, man. Let's take this. Let's try to take this a little bit more serious than what we have. This ain't no book club. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no Sunday school. Like it's a game changing what we're doing here in the UPK, and you can only say that about the UPK. That's it. Step up to the foot. Yeah.
All right, this is the ISUPK security announcements. You can't even see my face. Slide. This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street.
Shout out Captain Barma. Catch y'all next week. Salam one.
We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find it in Numbers 18 and 21, and Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Ma'ashra, it means the 10th in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. You give it to the Treasury Department or the teacher. Priest funds is a free will offering for priests. It's not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like would be appreciated. The next upcoming Holy Convocation.
Is it not in there? No, it's not. I think so. Should be a beer. The memorial of blowing of the trumpets, the first day of the 7th month, which is Wednesday, the 2nd of October, 2024. You can find it in Leviticus chapter 23, verses 24 through 25.
Okay. Now, if anybody want any other information, you can look at the bulletin board over in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and or scarf. With that, men of Israel, Amadim, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Amadim Shabbat, Amadim, Barak, Yahaba Hashem Yahshua Barakatah, Yahda Matah, class dismissed.